right, good morning, everybody. It looks like everybody slept in. In case you were wondering, no, this is not Shelby. She did not use a polyjuice potion to look different today. I am stepping in for Shelby, and I'm Sarah, if you haven't met me. I am the Director of Awesome here at the IMAG. And so I'm going to be doing your final activities for you for your Wizard Academy. So the first activity is a little hard for me to do all on my own. So I'm just going to show you what you guys have in your kit that you can actually play at home with your family. And so in your kit, you're actually going to find that you have Harry Potter bingo. So if this is something you would actually like to play at home, I would highly recommend it. It's actually super easy. It's got the pictures and the names on here. So this is a fun game that you guys can actually play at home with your family. So look inside your kit for your Harry Potter bingo. In addition, and it actually says it on the bag, it says Friday, and it actually lists your activities that you have there. So I'm going to show you 3 more activities that we're not going to be doing together, but that you can do, again, with your family a little bit later. So you should also have in your bag this template. This is a dragon glider. So this is your last activity for care of magical creatures. It's for you to make a flying dragon. We also gave you the directions. They should be in your Google Classroom. So look for the dragon glider's directions, and you do have a dragon glider that you can actually, it says I'm muted. All right, sorry guys, it's a little strange. I'm hearing voices in my ears, so I apologize for that. So yes, look inside your bag for your dragon gliders. The other activity that you have is your Luna Lovegood spectroscopes. And so look in your bag and you're gonna see a template that is the actual glasses that will be in there, and some red and blue film that you can use to make your glasses. And then again, the directions are on the Google Classroom, but you can go ahead and make your Luna Lovegood spectroscopes. And then this actually has the same concept as the old school 3D glasses that had the red and blue film. So that's gonna be your Luna Lovegood spectroscopes. And then your final activity that's in your bag is we put in there Harry Potter arithmancy code. So this is an activity, again, that you can do at home. And you're gonna find a sheet that says decode the following arithmancy codes. And there's numbers, and then there's blanks underneath. So what you have to figure out is you have to use this sheet. It says that the first letter is 7, or first number is 7. So underneath, there's 3 different letters. It could be one of those 3 letters. So for each number that's on here, you're going to have 3, or for the last one, 2 options for what letter it could be. So you have to try and decode this message using this. So if you got a 1, that would mean it's either an A, a J, or an S. So you have to write those letters down and then try and figure out which one it is based on the other letters that would be next to it. So it's a little bit tricky, a little bit harder than just a simple number exchange for letters. But you have that as well, so you can try that out on your own. So that's 3 extension activities you guys can do after this. Now, as far as your activities for today, the first one that you're going to be doing is, hi, Emily. Emily's joining. I'm gonna pause for a second. All right, so Emily is joining right now. Hi, Emily. So right now what I'm showing you is one of your activities this morning is mandrake cake. So you want to look for the directions that say mandrake cakes, and then you want to look for the bag that looks like this, and it's going to say mandrake cakes on it. And inside, you're going to find a cup, a spoon, a bag of cake mix, and then some of them have frosting. I'm not sure if all of them have frosting, and a napkin. So for this one, each of the bags has the direction on it. So since some people may have gotten slightly different cakes, you want to make sure you read the directions on your bag. Usually it's 3 tablespoons of water. So all you need to do is empty your cake mix into the cup, add 3 tablespoons of water, stir it, and then you're going to microwave it. And typically it's about a minute to 1 minute and 15 seconds. And so you're going to go ahead and microwave that in the microwave oven. And so I have one that's already done. So this one is mine. This is my mandrake cake that's in here. And then you all also were given a little packet of frosting. And so with your frosting, you want to go ahead and knead the packet a little bit. Hello, I know, are you confused? I'm not Shelby. It's me. I'm Sarah. I'm stepping in for Shelby, Emily. And I'm outside because we're doing a few messy experiments. I know it's a little confusing. You're in the right place. All right, so this is the frosting that goes on your mug cake. And so you can just rip that pouch open and then go ahead and put your frosting on your cake, in your cup. You should have everything you need to make your mandrake cake. And I'm gonna go ahead and put all that out. And I'm gonna use my spoon to kind of spread the frosting around. That's gonna be like the soil on top too. And that's gonna be our mandrake cakes. So that's one of your activities that you have. And I'm gonna set that to the side right now. I'm gonna keep taking things off the table because my table's about to get a little bit messy. All right, so for your next experiment, you're gonna be doing butterbeer Mentos fountains, all right? So you're gonna look for this direction sheet on your Google Class Drive. As far as me saying everything in the message, I will have to see if Matt is watching, if he's able to type things in while I'm doing everything. We can do that. So we're doing Mentos fountains right now. We're doing the butterbeer Mentos fountains. And you should have in your kit a bottle of soda. It's gonna have a label on it that says butterbeer Mentos fountain. And then you're gonna look for, in the little Ziploc bag, there are 2 index cards and 3 Mentos. So what you also need is in your kit, you need your clear tape. And you're gonna take the tape, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll our index card into a little cylinder. Now the trick is, you wanna make the cylinder wider than your Mentos, because this is how you're gonna put the Mentos in the soda. So I'm gonna tape that close. I'm making a cylinder. You did your Mentos fountain yesterday? It's definitely on our schedule for today. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Since you did it yesterday, I don't know if there's other people who end up watching who maybe didn't tune in. I'm gonna go ahead and do it again. I'm also gonna show you 2 different versions as well, okay? So we have our soda here, index card and tube. Now, the reason the Mentos fountain works has to do with the carbonation of your soda. So when you hear that hiss and that fizz, that's the carbon dioxide escaping. And if you were to look at a Mentos under a magnifying glass or a microscope, you would see it's not smooth. It actually has little divots, little pockets on it, and that's where all that carbon dioxide builds up. So again, I'm just moving things off my table because I tend to get messy when we do this. All right. This works way better if you have a partner, but if not, you can still do it. So what we're gonna do is put our Mentos into our tube. And you wanna make sure that the tube is right over the top of your soda. And then you're gonna slowly move the index card out of the way, and you're gonna let the Mentos drop in, and you get that really cool fountain effect. Now, what I'm gonna show you is I have a different way to do it. So over here, or hiding over here. So the other trick is you can't do this experiment more than once. So if you were to try it again right now, I actually can't do it. Matt, it looks like we've got somebody else in the waiting room if you want to let them in. Looks like Tiana's in there waiting. I'm gonna keep going. All right, if you were to actually just drop a Mentos in now, nothing's gonna happen because we've already done the experiment. But what I'm gonna show you is, this is a Mentos launcher. So instead of using that index card, we're gonna use the Mentos launcher and see if there's any difference in the experiment. So this one, I'm gonna take my Mentos. Hi, Tiana. Yes, if it's confusing, I'm not Shelby. I am substituting in for today. So we're gonna go ahead and drop our Mentos inside the tube. So this tube, the cool thing is it has a really tiny hole. So it's going to force that soda out of a much smaller area. So what should happen is you should get like a bigger eruption that happens. Hi. All right. The trick is with this, you have to make sure it's on really tight or else it sprays out the side and gets really messy. So my Mentos are in here a little bit crooked. There we go. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and release that. So we get a better fountain this time when we use our tube. However, I wanna go even bigger. So we're gonna try it with the big sodas. Now, a lot of people think that you have to use diet soda. You don't. So the only reason people typically use diet instead of regular has to do with the sugar inside. So regular soda has sugar, diet soda has aspartame. So regular soda is stickier when you do this experiment. As long as you have a carbonated soda, you can still do this. Now I'm going to put more Mentos in here because we're going to try and make a much bigger Mentos fountain. All right. So I'm dropping like 6 of these. Maybe I'm dropping them all over the floor. Hey, we're going to do 7. All right, we've got 7 in here. And I'm going to do 7 in the other one. And I'm going to launch them at the same time. So if you wanted to turn this into, you're scared, don't be scared. I'm the one who's gonna get wet if it goes wrong. You could turn this into a really cool science fair experiment because you could test different kinds of soda. You could test how many Mentos you use. You could test diet versus regular. You could test generic versus name brand. You could test Sprite versus Coke. You could test, does it make a difference if the soda is warm or cold? There's lots of different ways you could change this experiment. So I don't want that to get in my water because that's for the next experiment. So we're gonna hide that. All right, let's see if I get like really wet in a second here. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. So way bigger, like so big, it went off the camera and you couldn't even see the top of it. So it definitely makes a difference if we use big sodas versus small. The amount of Mentos makes a difference. The type of soda can make a difference sometimes too. This one is cream soda, tends to not work as well as some of the other kinds. But as far as diet versus regular, they both went about the same height. Am I still gonna work on this table? Yep, this is my wet, gross table. So that's why we're outside though. Don't do this inside, you will get in trouble. So I'm gonna move these out of the way. But although I just got my paper towels completely drenched, I'm gonna wipe it off a little bit. So yeah, like puddles of soda coming off the table right now. Woo, that's okay. All right. So the reason I'm gonna wipe all this off is for our last experiment, we're gonna use some nitrogen. So, gross. So hang on 1 second while I pour this out. All right. So for our last experiment, here's what we got going on right now. So this is liquid nitrogen. And so I don't know, you've seen a couple demos, I think, so far with nitrogen. Have you guys seen any other shows that we've done where we've had nitrogen out? Wasn't sure. All right, so this is liquid nitrogen. Now, when you breathe the air around you, 21% of what you're breathing is oxygen, 78% is nitrogen. The rest is just other gases. The reason this is so smoky right now is it wants to be a gas again. Like, that's why it looks so smoky. My liquid nitrogen is turning back into a gas because the air around it is so warm. For nitrogen to be a gas or to be a liquid, it has to be 321 degrees below zero. It has to be extremely cold. So the minute it's out in the open, it's turning back into a gas. It's just going off into the air around us. But we can do some cool stuff with it. So, got a balloon here. We're gonna shove this balloon into the bowl, okay? So, and it's gonna fit all the way. Now, the neat thing is, I can fit more. We're gonna keep going. And anyone notice there's a pattern to the colors I'm using? I've used yellow, I've used green, now I'm using blue. Any guesses what the next colored balloon is gonna be? What do you think? It's gonna be red because I'm doing the colors that represent your houses. For Harry Potter, we got red. So now we've got 4 balloons in this bowl. I'm gonna put my glove on. So these are my cryo gloves because I can't put my hand in nitrogen. You wish you had this in your house, that'd be very dangerous. But I can push my hand on this. I can't put my hand in the bowl because look, that's my glove. I want that to happen to my glove, not to my actual hand. So, all right. But what we're gonna do is this. These are what I call balloon pancakes. So what's happening right now, my balloon that was in the nitrogen is now warming up again and it's expanding. So the air inside is warming up, expanding in the balloon again, and my balloon's gonna start to expand. So the balloon's gonna start to go back to its original shape. Now there's a chance it might pop, and I'm scared of balloons popping, by the way, just because of some of the creases and things that happen when it shrinks. But this is our balloon. There's 1, there's 2, 3, and there's number 4. So all of our balloons are gonna go back to their full size. So if we are talking in terms of Harry Potter charms, this would be Engorgio, and when we made them shrink, that would be Reducio. So I'm actually gonna, there goes 1. That would be Bombarda, so that's explosion. So I'm gonna do 1 more charm. Ah! When they hit the ground, there's more likely they're gonna pop because the ground is really rough. So I'm gonna do 1 more charm with our nitrogen, and that's gonna be Bombarda. So Bombarda means explosion. So we're gonna move some things out of the way here. And I'm gonna put on, we're gonna call my safety glasses, protect my eyes. And I'm gonna move some things out of the way. All right. And I figure, gotta have a cauldron, because you know, Harry Potter and charms. So we're gonna pour our nitrogen into our cauldron. We're gonna see how much we have left. This is my big container that I keep my nitrogen in. Let's pour some more in. All right. And I have the secret ingredient here. What happens if you touch liquid nitrogen? You don't want to do that. It's 321 degrees below zero. Very, 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 very cold. Your body temperature is 98.6 above zero, typically. If it splashed me, I'll be okay. It'll evaporate really quick. but prolonged contact, like if I hold my hand in there, I'm going to get seriously injured, and we don't want that. So that's why, no, I'm not going to put my hand in there. That's why if I do stuff like that, I have to have my glove on. All right, in here, hot water, all right? Super cold, really hot. So what do you think is going to happen when I pour hot water into the really cold nitrogen? What do you think is going to happen? You think it's going to evaporate? That's a good guess. I'm going to give you another hint again. Remember, this is our spell, our charm, bombarda, explosion. So what do you think is going to happen? Yeah. All right, so here we go. I'm going to pour, and we'll see what happens. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. So that, super smoky. So that is a mini version of the big explosions I normally do with our nitrogen. Very cool, right? And it's still going. That's the fun part, because look. So we still have nitrogen left. So all that is all that nitrogen turning back into a gas. Once it's done, the only reason anything would be wet around here is from the water I poured in. It's not from the nitrogen. Most of the water, actually, if I were to empty this out, most of that hot water is actually frozen inside my container now because it's so cold that actually freezes as this happens. There we go. Plus, it just looks really cool. All right. Trying to see if I can get some of that ice out. So if you see some of the ice that's falling out, that's that hot water that was inside of my cauldron. All right, you guys. So do you have any questions for me? Because we are to the end of Wizard Academy. Yes, what's your question?
What do we do with the rest of the stuff that's in our bag?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What do we do with the rest of the stuff that's in our bag?
So the extra stuff that you have in your bag, that's stuff that you can do at home with your family. So there's directions in the Google Classroom that you can use. So one of the activities is a dragon glider. There's another one, it's arithmetic codes that you can do. And then there was another one, it's Luna Lovegood spectroscopes that you can do. Matt, if you want to let in, it looks like their teacher is trying to get in, Miss Frog. All right. So yeah, so all of that stuff, it's yours, and you can do experiments with it. So you are welcome to use the rest of that stuff at home. There's directions that you have on the Google Classroom, so you're able to continue doing experiments at home. What's the other question? It said yes, wait. Woo, my table's really wet. What else? Matt, are you able to let Miss Frog in? It's the last day. I know. It's the last day. It's crazy. It's like almost the end of the summer. Time to get ready to go back to regular school soon, too. Any other questions? Any other questions? Hi. I don't know who else is tuning in. You're going to Colorado? That's so far away. Oh, my glasses have like water on them from that last experiment. I made a mess. Hi, Miss Frog. Yes, this is not Shelby. This is not a polyjuice potion. This is Sarah. I stepped in. And so we just did our Bombarda spell with liquid nitrogen. And then I also did our Mentos fountains, which I heard you guys did yesterday. So I did a different version of it. And I showed them how to make their mandrake cakes. And then I told them about the activities that you guys have in your bag that you guys can do over the weekend. Oh, I don't know who that is then. Just says Miss Frog. All right, now it says Matthew Plancher. I'm not sure. All right, guys. So any other questions that you guys have before I sign off? Any other questions? All right, then bye, guys. Have fun with all of your stuff, okay?